Hello again everyone, and welcome back to the channel for what is episode 21 in season 1 here at Williams Racing on our road to glory. Now this is the penultimate race of this season. There is only one race remaining, which is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So we just have enough resource points to be able to do a couple of upgrades here on the R&D tree before this race weekend. So we will look to put a few new parts on the car if we possibly can. So that is 4 new parts that we've been able to put on the car before this race weekend. So I think our contract is up at the end of this season. So my question to you guys is, would you like a season 2 at Williams Racing? Or would you like me to go over and start a My Team career save instead? Where we start our teams from scratch and have to build everything up from the bottom up. If that would be more interesting to you guys, then please do let me know in the comment section below this video, as we are nearing the end of this season here at Williams Racing, and we are still a ways behind the competitors in and around us. So it is going to be a difficult second season here as well at Williams Racing. We haven't been able to get all the upgrades on the car that we would have wished for. So before we jump into the race weekend, guys, if you are a new viewer to the channel, then please do hit the subscribe button. Please do hit the notifications bell so you do not miss any future content coming to the channel in the coming weeks. If you are enjoying this Williams Racing Road to Glory series here on F1 2020, then please do hit the like button to show me that you're enjoying the series. And any feedback is of course always welcome in the comment section below. So if you would like to see me start at My Team career mode save instead, then please do let me know in the comment section below. And without further ado, let's jump straight into the Brazilian Grand Prix race weekend. So here we are, guys, just about to jump into the practice sessions here around Interlagos in Brazil. So we will just have a quick look at the messages we have for us here. The weather forecast is looking very good for qualifying. It will be a dry qualifying, but it will be a wet race. So we need to try and qualify the best we can, as we are not really that good on wet conditions. So hopefully that'll change this weekend. Hopefully we can put in a good show in here around Interlagos. As we can see, Haas have put more upgrades on the car here and got further away from us. So it's going to be very difficult for us now to be able to catch the teams in and around us, as teams have managed to put more upgrades on the car and they have pulled further and further away from us here. So I will jump straight into these practice sessions, guys, and take them offline here, and I'll see you again for the dry qualifying.
Track is pretty quiet at the moment. Perhaps we should get out there and get a few laps in. All complete. Mechanics, please stand clear. We're ready to go. Okay, we can take you this lap. Everyone ready? Okay, let's go.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three: Leclerc, Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race. Formula One returns to Sao Paulo once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Brazilian Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his third championship here in 2012, and in 2016, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. But it's a wet one today, so grip and visibility will be at a premium, and the drivers will need to be careful coming up the hill in Sector 3, the scene of many an accident over the years. Joining me for today's race once again is Anthony Davidson. Why don't we start by talking about Valtteri Bottas? They've had a fantastic campaign, it's been a wonderful year, and they come into this weekend's Grand Prix as a fully deserving champion.
It really is well deserved. I wouldn't say it's been a faultless title challenge, but certainly one that has been consistent and well managed. Here's hoping they let off a bit of steam today and give us an exciting race.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Sainz, Sergio Perez and Bottas, Norris, Gasly, Ricciardo and Alexander Albon, Kvyat, Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi, Jones, Hamilton. They've taken a grid penalty. Stroll, Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen. Russell and Esteban Ocon rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
It might be difficult getting out of the midfield today. Let's see what you can do.
So as you saw there from the previous graphic, guys, we have been pushed nicely up to P14 from our P17. There was lots of cars there who got grid penalties for changing components on their cars. So that pushed us very nicely up to P14 there. As we have a quick look at the strategies here we have today, we can either go through the whole race without stopping, or we can make one stop at lap 9. So I will opt for the first option, and I will see how the tyre wear is after the midway point in this race, and I'll then evaluate if we need to make a stop or not. So we're just about to get underway with the race here, guys. So if you are a new viewer to the channel, then please do hit the subscribe button. Please do hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any further content coming to the channel in the coming weeks. If you are enjoying this Williams Road to Glory series here on F1 2020, then please do hit the like button to show me that you are enjoying the content. If you have any feedback for me, then please do leave it in the comment section below this video. And let's get straight underway with today's race. So we're going to engage the clutch, maximum revs here. Hopefully we get a decent start off the line, and it's go, go, go for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Not a bad start from us here. We're up on the side of Raikkonen going down to turn 1. Hopefully we can get cleanly through turn 1 here. As we're getting pushed by Kvyat from behind us, and we get the warning for the collision. So that's us up into P11, guys. Very decent start here at Interlagos. Very happy with that. As we go very, very wide here into turn 4, sorry. So you need to be very careful here in these wet conditions.
Nice start. Let's keep it up.
As we're now on the gearbox of Daniel Ricciardo sitting in 10th. So we're one position away from the points here, guys, in Brazil. As we look to show ourselves to Ricciardo, but there wasn't any space there to get the move done. very bad visibility here coming into the last corner. So we will use to look some overtake here. Try and put some room between ourselves, Giovinazzi, and try and catch Ricciardo a little bit if we possibly can, coming down to turn 1 here for the first time. As we run a bit wide there into turn 1 and into the centre S's here. Lose a bit of time there to Ricciardo. As Giovinazzi is very close behind us, he might come and have a look at us here down into turn 1, but we managed to outbrake him there into turn 4, sorry. That is turn 4, not turn 1. So we come up to these 2 right-handers here, very tight right-handers. So we run a bit wide there. Not easy in these wet conditions. As you can see, there is puddles on the track. So hopefully the cars ahead of us will be on a one-stop strategy. And hopefully we can make our tyres go to the end of the race. As there's currently 1.2 seconds up to Daniel Ricciardo just up the road here. As Charles Leclerc sets the fastest lap so far with a 1:18.5. It's not a bad race time here in the wet. As we look to try and get a little bit better entry here into what is turn 1 through the centre S's here. So we run a bit wide there, get a warning for track limits. Very slow there out of turn 4. Very difficult on these wet conditions. You got to drive a different racing style as if you would in the dry conditions. So hopefully the cars in and around us are on a 2-stop strategy, guys. 1-stop strategy, sorry. That would really help us out, as we are losing a lot of ground to Ricciardo. He's now opened up the gap to almost 3 seconds. So hopefully we can close that gap a little bit up to Daniel Ricciardo and pull away from the cars behind us. That would be very nice as we lock up going into the final corner here before we start the long start-finish straight. So we will look to use a bit of overtake here, try and pull a little bit more away from Giovinazzi.
The car ahead is 3.2 seconds.
If that is at all possible, as we come through the centre S's for the 4th time. Ran wide there again and got my 2nd warning for corner cutting, so hopefully we can avoid another one, because that will tack 3 seconds onto our time. As Giovinazzi is having a look up the inside of us here. Hopefully we can defend him off here in turn 4, and we can. So if we don't pick up the pace a little bit here and get a bit more consistent, then I'm pretty sure we'll be a sitting duck here. So we come through the 2nd of these tight right-handers, go into the left-hander here. Now it is forecast to be wet all race, so I want to try and look after these tyres as best I possibly can and complete the race on this 1 set of tyre, where I'm hoping that the AI will go in around lap 9 and change to a fresh set of tyres.
Fuel target +1.
As we have managed to put just over a second between ourselves and Giovinazzi. So we are using some rich and some overtake here. And the gap is pretty much the same. So we come through turn 1 here, back down towards the centre S's. Thankfully we didn't get a corner cut warning there. And thankfully there is no DRS, because then we'll be in great danger from Giovinazzi, as he was inside the 2nd there coming down this straight. As the gap up to Ricciardo is now 4.7 seconds. So my hope is that they will go in for a fresh set of intermediate tyres around lap 9 or 10. Hopefully we can gain a position or two with that if we manage to stay in P11 for that long. It's very difficult to drive in the wet here.
This light rain is going to be with us for a while now.
As we're currently green in sector 2. So the gap is currently 1.5 seconds to Giovinazzi. As you can see, the pack in front have managed to open up a big gap to us now.
By 5.5 seconds.
So we are kind of racing here on our own. We have a little gap to the cars behind us, and we have a big gap up to the cars ahead of us as I run very, very wide here into turn 4, which will allow the cars behind me to gain a lot of time on me. So that was a sloppy mistake from me there after I managed to finally get myself a little bit of breathing room. So I need to work my hardest now to try and gain that back if I possibly can. Damage might already be done here, as there's 5.5 seconds up to Daniel Ricciardo in 10th position.
Our gap to the car in front is 5.2 seconds.
So we have managed to take a little bit of time off Ricciardo there. We've got it bound to just over 5 seconds, where it was 5.5 seconds in sector 2. And we are managing to open up a little bit of a gap between ourselves and Giovinazzi behind us again, which is very, very pleasing. So I need to go back down to standard fuel mix for a little bit, save a bit of fuel.
Keep managing your tyres. Manage your tyres.
So we managed to make it a bit more neat and tidy coming out of turn 4 there. So we are kind of racing on our own here, guys, but we are in P11, which is very, very pleasing. We were very lucky and got bumped up to P14 with all the grid penalties. So hopefully the AI go in around lap 9 or 10 and box for new intermediate tyres, and we can stay out and complete the race on this set of intermediates. Would be very pleasing. Get ourselves into the points that way would be very, very nice. So we'll use a little bit of overtake here. Touch the curve just a little bit there.
We're accumulating some wear on the MGUK. To manage this, we'll need to lower our ERS deployment mode.
So we lock up a little bit here going into turn 1. That was fine. We got a nice exit there out of those Senna S's. So we've got 2.5 seconds to the car behind, and 5.7 seconds up to Daniel Ricciardo just up the road. So it will all come down to if the AI are going to stop for some fresh tyres. So I did mention before we started today's episode, guys, we have only 2 races left now with Williams Racing here in Season 1. So would you like to see me continue for a Season 2 here at Williams Racing? Or would you like to see me start a My Team save here on F1 2020? Please do let me know in the comment section below, and I will endeavour to do what you guys want me to do. I do of course want to make this as entertaining for you guys watching as possible.
5.4 seconds.
So if you want to see something different on the channel, if you don't want to see a Season 2 of Williams Racing but want to see a My Team instead, then please do let me know in the comment section below. If you are enjoying this series of Williams Racing Road to Glory, then please hit the like button. If you are a new viewer to the channel, then please do subscribe. As we get ourselves a 3-second penalty there for our final corner cutting warning. So I need to try and push a little bit more now and get a bigger gap to Giovinazzi than 2.4 seconds. So this race just become a lot more difficult than it had to become, with me getting my 3rd warning there for corner cutting. So I desperately need to try and stay 3 seconds away from the cars behind me to be able to keep this very good position that we've managed to get ourselves into. I'm going to have to try and push a little bit now. Try and open up that gap just a little bit more. Use a little bit of rich and a little bit of overtake here coming down the home straight. Try and open up that gap as much as I possibly can here before we come down to turn 1. As we lock up a little bit coming into turn 1 here. As I get another warning for corner cutting, so I need to be very careful coming out of turn 1, entering into turn 2. We definitely don't need 6 seconds against our name, because that will technically be our race over then. So we need to be a little bit more careful coming out of those corners.
Caution, caution.
As there is a yellow flag ahead. Pierre Gasly is out of the session and safety car has been deployed.
Keep your delta number positive as we form up. Drop your speed, our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
So there is safety car drama here in Brazil, and that is us up into P10, so we are in the points. The only disappointing thing now is that we lose the gap to the cars behind us when we do have a 3-second penalty to our name. So I will look to save a little bit of fuel here under safety car conditions, go down to lean fuel mix. As we need now to try and catch the safety car queue if we possibly can. So you can see the cars behind are catching me up now. So the safety car was both a blessing in disguise and a bit of a pain at the same time. We are officially in the points now, but the cars behind us will eat up the gap that we managed to get, so hopefully we can build another gap here after the safety car goes in. So hopefully we can get a decent start here off the safety car and make up another position or two if we possibly can. Hopefully we will finish in the points today, even though we do have a time penalty to our name for corner cutting. So it's going to be a very interesting last 7 laps here around Interlagos. As we're just catching up to the safety car queue now. They're just going down the start-finish straight. So it will be one more lap behind the safety car as they clear away Pierre Gasly's car in sector 2. As we can just see the safety car queue here just ahead of us. So we will need to lower our speed. So it doesn't look like the AI are going to go in and change over to a fresh set of intermediates. As you can see here from my tyres, they are kind of worn, so they might go in a lap or two's time, but going behind the safety car here will give us an opportunity to preserve tyres, save a little bit of fuel. So hopefully we can get a good start off this safety car here. We have Ricciardo, Albon and Norris are the 3 drivers directly in front of us. Don't want to hit Ricciardo under a safety car because that will be a penalty. So we'll see how many laps the safety car stays out for. If he stays out for one more, or if he goes in at the end of this lap. So this is giving me an opportunity to preserve my battery.
Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember,
so we'll go to Rich here.
Until the timing line. Stay in position until
and we'll try and stay as close to Ricardo as we possibly can for when it's green flag. And hopefully we can get the best start possible here. So we're looking to stay on the gearbox of Daniel Ricciardo here.
Green flag.
We've got a little bit better start than us, but we'll look to outbrake him coming into turn 1 here. And we just got up the inside of Daniel Ricciardo there. That's us up into P9. But we get a very bad exit out of turn 1 into turn 2. So we use a little bit of overtake here, as Daniel Ricciardo will look to come back at us here, coming down to turn 4.
Okay, you're in the top 10.
So we did manage to gain 1 position there off the safety car. Very, very pleasing. Hopefully we can stay here. Now we have to concentrate on getting ourselves a gap. As Daniel Ricciardo looks to come up the inside of us here, we'll leave him enough racing room so there's no contact. I'm sorry, that was Giovinazzi. There was a bit of contact there, but not more than a little love tap. As Albon is the next driver who is ahead of us here.
Some of this energy.
So we will use a bit of Rich and a bit of overtake here, coming down the start-finish straight. Looking to pull away just a little bit from the cars behind us. Yes, we desperately want to open up a 3-second gap if that is possible. So we're coming through turn 1 here. Senna S's, turn 2 and 3. We have 0.8 of a second down to Daniel Ricciardo, who's in 10th position.
We pretty much burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
So we need to go back down to standard fuel mix, as we have burned up all our excess fuel here. As it looks like the penalty will come back to haunt us, as the pack behind us is very tightly knit. So those 3 seconds could be a very difficult pill for us to swallow here at the end of the race if we can't put a bit of space between ourselves and the cars behind. So we will look to use a bit of overtake here again. Desperately trying to pull away from the cars behind. We need 3 seconds to be able to keep the position that we're in now, but Daniel Ricciardo is gaining on us. So we lock up going into turn 1. So we might just fall out of the points here, guys. 3 laps remaining.
The car in front is 3.1 seconds.
As these strict corner cutting rules here, they are very, very unforgiving. If your wheel is touching the outside line, you will get a penalty, or a warning at least. So these strict rules are very, very difficult to abide by, but so hopefully we can finish above Giovinazzi. Hopefully we can build a nice little gap to Giovinazzi. It's currently at 1.9 seconds, which means then we'll stay in 10th position.
The turbocharger is on its last legs. Let's try to keep mileage on it to a minimum.
So we go into lap 16, guys. So we need to really try and push these last 2 laps to give ourselves the best opportunity we can to finish in the points. And that's not the exit and entry we need to be able to get that time. As you can see, Giovinazzi was 2 seconds behind us. He's now 1.3 from that bad exit as Daniel Ricciardo overtakes us here into turn 4. We'll look to hold the outside line and get back around him.
Okay, we've lost the position. That's us down a place.
But we will look to leave him some racing room here as he's back up the inside here, coming down to these two right-handers. So we'll look to hold the inside line. We've got a very bad entry and exit. As it looks like we will not be finishing in the points, guys. Giovinazzi is only a second behind us with 2 laps remaining. We needed 3 seconds because we have a 3-second penalty for corner cutting as we spin coming out of that corner there. And that puts us all the way down to P13, P14. Hamilton sails past there. So 1 bad corner and we end up losing 4 positions. It's heartbreaking that we span in that corner there. We were doing very well up to that point. We were in the points technically, but we do have a 3-second penalty. So that is a shame. It will be probably a P17 finish for us anyway, as it looks like the drivers behind are within 3 seconds of us. As you can see, Lewis Hamilton is down in P13. He hasn't managed to cut his way through the pack.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
As we go very, very deep into that corner there. And very, very wide there. Which gives us a very bad exit. So it was heartbreaking Brazil for us here. If we avoided all those corner cutting warnings, then we might have been able to finishing the points. I was pushing a lot harder there when we spanned because I wanted to build up the 3-second gap. So it does look like we will be finishing near the back of the grid. I felt like we had good race pace. I felt like we did really well to get as far up the field as we did.
This is your final lap of the race.
But it just wasn't to be as we go very wide into turn 1, which will give us a bad exit down to turn 2 and 3. As we're on the last lap of the race here, as Lance Stroll looks to go up the inside of us here, and we are defenceless to do anything with Lance Stroll. And we give him a little tap on the back there. I broke way too late going into that corner, and we lose another position down to P16. As we've got a very damaged front wing, as you can tell here by the downforce. So our race has fell apart here, guys. P17 now. So it looks like we will be finishing in P20. It's a heartbreaking way really to end this race. After we got such a good start, we managed to hold our own up there against the big boys. But too many corner cuts to give us a 3-second penalty. I was pushing too hard here near the end of the race. 2 costly mistakes. That's cost us all in all 8 positions. And it probably will end with us being in P20 when the 3-second penalty kicks in after the race. So this has been the Brazilian Grand Prix, guys. So we'll see where we end up.
The race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
19th position. So we lost 9 places there overall. Just pushing a bit too hard to get the 3 seconds that we so desperately needed.
An incredible year for Formula One, and our drivers have all pushed themselves this season, making it one of the most compelling years of racing in history. There can only be one champion, however, and here they are now, our new Formula One World Drivers' Champion. We've witnessed some great battles around the historic curves of Interlagos today, and they've taken a fantastic win. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, they clearly have a car that comes alive in the kind of conditions we were dealing with today. It's a very balanced package in the wet, and what that means is that the drivers have confidence to attack, and having that confidence gets you on the power earlier, it lets you brake later, and can put you a long way up the road.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Well, my driver of the day has to be Charles Leclerc. He was unstoppable out on the track today, weaving through the competition with ease.
It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
So there we have it, guys. Charles Leclerc is the winner of this season's Brazilian Grand Prix. And here is confirmation that we finished down in P19. We started in P14. We managed to battle our way up to P10. Battling nicely there with Daniel Ricciardo. I was pushing a bit too hard after the safety car to try and get the 3 seconds that I so desperately needed. And 2 costly mistakes put us down to P19 in the end there. So we will move now on to the last race weekend in the first season here at Williams Racing. So if you guys would like to see a season 2 here at Williams Racing on our Road to Glory series, then please do let me know in the comment section below. If you would rather see the My Team career mode, where you have to build a team from scratch, then please do let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see something different, then I will endure to do so. And let's move straight ahead now to the final preview. So there we have it, guys. There was the Brazilian Grand Prix. We'll fast forward time now towards the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. As you see, the air filter upgrade is now on the car, which is very, very helpful. So just have a quick look at the R&D tree here before the next episode.
This is probably what I'd invest.
And we have just enough here now to build more on the chassis, which we will do so. And I think it said it should be on the car for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which is fantastic. We will look to rush it so we can have it on the car for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. There's a major chance it might fail, but we'll have to take that chance. So hopefully you enjoyed today's episode, guys. If you are a new viewer to the channel, then please do hit the subscribe button. Please do hit the notifications bell so you do not miss any further content coming to the channel in the coming weeks. If you are enjoying this series here with Williams Racing, then please do hit the like button. And if you would like to see something different in Season 2, maybe a change of team, maybe you want me to stay at Williams, maybe you want me to start a My Team career mode save, then please do let me know in the comment section below and I will endure to your wishes. So I hope everyone's well, and I'll see you again in the next episode.